Jennifer Griffin. She joins us live from the Pentagon. I mean, a lot of news to unpack here, Jennifer. Why do you think that they decided to use such a massive bomb? They must have had incredible intelligence to tell them exactly where to drop it.
Well, it's really not clear, Dana. In fact, there are no briefings scheduled for the Pentagon, and no spokesman plans to come on camera to explain to us what the decision-making process was. What we can tell you, Sean Spicer was asked whether the president was the one who ordered this bombing in Afghanistan, but we're told, in fact, General John Nicholson, the top U.S. commander in Afghanistan, had all the authorities he needed to use this weapon, and it was his choice to use what is known, as you mentioned, the mother of all bombs, a massive ordnance air blast. This is the first time it's been used in combat. It has a radius of 1 mile wide. It's a 21,000-pound bomb. It is pushed out the back of an MC-130 plane. It is GPS guided, and in essence, it would wipe out those tunnels where U.S. forces have been trying to find ISIS. This is the same area along the Pakistan border as really Tora Bora, which we all remember back at the beginning of the Afghan war, where al-Qaeda was hiding for all those years. So the ISIS, in terms of estimates of the number of ISIS fighters in Afghanistan, the U.S. military puts the number at about 1,000. President Trump announced yesterday that his national security advisor, H.R. McMaster, was getting on a plane tonight to head to Afghanistan. We know that General Nicholson has testified recently that he thinks he needs several thousand more troops there in Afghanistan because of the burgeoning ISIS threat. But according to Sean Spicer, they have eliminated that threat in this area. Spicer said they took all measures to ensure no civilian casualties, but it's very hard to imagine with such a large bomb being used in an area where there are villages and there are civilians that there aren't civilian casualties. Dana.
I have a question for you. When you said that the White House said that the general there on the ground had all the authority that he needed, is that a change from the Obama administration?
Well, it's interesting. You remember during the Obama administration, there were very tight rules of engagement in terms of the use of the Air Force in certain circumstances, under what circumstances it could be used. Remember, the Obama administration was trying to draw down in Afghanistan. They left behind what they thought were the minimal needed U.S. forces. They wanted to end combat operations, and they took many measures with tight rules of engagement. It's our understanding that the rules of engagement have not really changed, but there are about 8,400 U.S. troops on the ground in Afghanistan right now. That went down about 1,500 troops at the end of the Obama administration in December and January of this year. And again, General Nicholson says he needs more troops. So they were trying to transition to more of a training of Afghan forces, and President Obama at the end of his administration didn't want to do what had happened in Iraq, which is to pull out completely. So he agreed to Pentagon requests to keep some troops on the ground, but now it looks as though they are going to request more.
Okay, Jennifer, thank you so much.